What's up, boys? Michael, what do you mean by put your second channel on the channel tab in the Dying Light channel? What do you mean by that? By the way, because I was kind of wondering. What's up, Fallout guy? By the way, my voice is probably kind of deep right now because I just woke up. I literally slept for like 13 hours because over the weekend I've been sleeping for like 5 hours a night because I'm an absolute degenerate. But it is what it is. I'm pretty good overall. Alright. Nothing much. Nothing much. Except for this dev update that just, or not dev update, I think it's the QnA. It's like 13 minutes long, so this is looking pretty promising, not gonna lie. What is happening? Was it a video? 13 hours, yeah. I went to sleep, I believe. No, it was probably around 12 hours, actually. I'm fibbing. What's happening with it? Was it a video? Yeah, they released like a 12-minute and 24-second video. It says Ask Me Anything Episode 1. So this is like the Q&A, I'm guessing. Pretty sure. Sup? Alright, we're gonna hop right into this pretty soon here. I'm just gonna be looking for... really what I'm gonna be looking for is helpful, like if we actually get some helpful information. Because last time we we were expecting something in depth and we got just like a little bit of gameplay, so a little bit of talking, wasn't much. But what is happening? They released the question and answer. It's the same one that they... Here, I'll show you really quick. This is the Discord. It says, from Unsi, hello survivors. In our March update, we asked you to send questions. We got over 9,000 questions. We gathered the most frequently asked questions, and Timon Smektala, the lead game designer, chose a few to answer with some interesting news about the game. Wait, that's cool. So it's Timon, and it's Timon answering them. That's a really good sign so far. He's probably the most well-spoken Techland person, I would say. Alright, let's hop into this now.
Hi everyone, my name is Timon Smektała and I'm the lead game designer of Dying Light 2. Welcome to our AMA.
No, I have not seen this already. This is first time reaction. Like I said, I literally just woke up 30 minutes ago. That's why my voice is kind of deep. It's like full degen. So yeah, this is first time reaction for me. I think the audio should be good.
First of all, I would like to thank all of you for
Remind me if it's too loud or something.
It was more than 9,000 questions.
Turn it up.
So it's a lot. We have chosen the one that were appearing most frequently. So first, the number one question. How big is the map of Dying Light 2? So this is something we have said before. It's about double the size of all of the maps from...
Is it really too quiet?
Dying Light 1 combined. If you have played the first game, I think it will be easy for you to imagine how big the map
I think you guys are
be.
trolling.
You just take the slums,
honestly.
you take the old town, you combine...
It says it's like the same volume as my voice. But yeah, as far as this first question they're answering here, what I'm really worried about is they said most frequently answered questions. So I hope this isn't just like a recap of all the questions we already pretty much know. Like this first one, we already know it's like 4 times the size of slums and Old Town combined or whatever. That's just what I hope we don't get.
And you double the number, and that's roughly the size of the game space in Dying Light 2. If you want to know the number, it's more than
with
6
the rock
square
symbols
kilometers
again.
big. Almost 7 square kilometers. But that's a simple answer which doesn't take into account the verticality of the world. So just imagine there are hundreds of buildings and each one of them has at least a couple of floors. There are even skyscrapers, there are roofs, bridges, all of that stuff. So you can imagine how big the actual space you'll be playing in is.
Oh, that's a good one. What is that zombie with branches on its back? Volatiles already gave me mini heart attacks. I'm worried I will lose my life now.
I'm worried as well because the volatiles in Dying Light 2 are even more scary.
By the way, is this like the Techland work area, or is this his apartment? Random, but like, wait. Also, I like. Why is Timon wearing a 420 sweatshirt? Did they film this on 420 of April or something? But yeah, I think this is probably the Techland workspace, but I was kind of just wondering that.
So the fingers crossed for you. And answering your question, the guy with the branches, he's actually a new type of infected in our game. And I don't want to spoil too much because we are preparing a huge drop of information about our infected that's coming. But what I can tell you right now is that he's definitely not a nice guy. And he will also give you quite a lot of those mini heart attacks.
Okay, so it sounds like it's a different branch of infected and it's not a volatile, which many people probably thought, but he didn't really necessarily confirm it, but he's basically saying it's not a volatile.
The interesting thing about this guy is that you can actually make him happen, make him appear in your game.
What?
So the fact that he appears in your world is just one of the consequences that you can.
Oh, so you have to make a specific decision in game to actually get that type of zombie or infected in your game, it sounds like. At least that's what it sounds like he's saying.
Can have when you make specific decisions. So if he really is that scary for you, just try to make good decisions and maybe he will not haunt your dreams.
All right.
Is there just going to be zombies at night, or will we see some wandering around on rooftops?
That's a very good question because it touches on the most important rule of the world of Dying Light 2, which is the day is for humans, but the night is for the infected. What that means is that during the day, the infected hide inside buildings, inside dark places where they can avoid sun rays or UV lights. So yes, there are less of them on the streets during the day, but it doesn't mean you won't encounter them. Mm-hmm. There are still some of them are weakened, some of them are slower, but they still pose a threat. Another threat that you have to face during the day is of course bandits and other humans, but that's a different type of story, another story. One more thing that you can do is you can actually draw the infected from their hiding places. For example, if you make a lot of noise, so then they run away, run from their hiding places, and they try to attack you, they try to fight with you, or some other NPCs, some other humans around. Of course, it lasts only for a short amount of time because they are afraid of the sun rays, so then they go back, but yes, you will still be able to encounter them during the day. Another interesting thing you asked about is the rooftops, and it's interesting because it touches on another very important concept of Dying Light 2, which is that the rooftops are being used by the people that live in the city to rebuild the civilization. So while you will be exploring, actually you will see a lot of safe houses, farm fields, and additional stuff like that on the rooftops. So they need to be safe. So there aren't that many biters, virals, or other infected on the rooftops during the day. But of course, when the night comes, it's a completely different type of story because the day is for humans, but the night is for the infected.
Okay, that's something a lot of people were really worried about. Me, not so much about like how many infected there will be during the day. I'm not too worried about it. I think they're gonna do a decent shit. My bad. I think they're gonna do a decent job with it so far, and it sounds pretty good.
Okay, but what about the guns?
Yes, guns. Another question that came up very often.
Oh no.
So this is something we have also been telling you guys already. So there are no firearms in the world of Dying Light 2.
Oh no.
Why? Because it's a world where the civilization is destroyed, is gone. So actually no one is able to create like professional firearms. There will be ranged weapons, bows,
Oh, no.
and something extra, which fit more the modern Dark Ages idea, the modern Dark Ages concept. Having said that, there's actually one option you can choose to use something similar to a firearm, and this is a handmade shotgun. A very nice tool we have introduced for you to craft with the stuff you have found, you can find during exploration. When you craft it, when you create it, you can start using it using your left hand. So you can have a shotgun in your left hand and a machete or a sword or a hammer in your second one.
It's gonna be overpowered.
And it really allows you to combine those two tools in combat encounters. A very powerful combination. But the thing is that the shotgun, because it's handmade, it doesn't last long. So it can get destroyed very easily.
I actually like that kind
so
of
it's
though.
up to you when you decide to use that powerful piece of weapon.
Okay. That was a big question. I'm glad they answered. Oh wow, what am I even gonna say about this? So he just came out and straight said no guns, which it's been seeming like they started off saying guns are gonna be rare, and now they're saying there's no guns. Something they probably just changed their mind. That's completely acceptable. It's still in development, but I don't know. Frank got shot with a sniper, first of all, so that's one thing. Maybe we're gonna see guns in the narrative and not in the like free play. Maybe that's what they're saying, because Frank did already get shot. I don't know.
Okay, so is the grappling hook still in the game, or as it was in the extended gameplay trailer? If yes, how does it work? So of course it is still in the game, and we have really put a lot of effort into making it a completely new tool, a tool that's better than the one that you got used to in Dying Light 1.
Here, hold on, I'll be right back, sorry guys. All right, my bad. But yeah, as far as the gun thing goes, I wonder if they're gonna continue forward with the thing with Frank. Your description is false. Well, okay, here's the thing about the gun thing. My video that said Dying Light 2 has guns, I went into detail about saying maybe we won't be able to use guns in free play, but guns are going to play a part in the narrative like we saw with Frank getting shot. I'm just wondering if that's still going to be a thing. If maybe we're going to see some narrative options with guns or not. Or maybe they're just going to go completely homemade. I just don't see how it sounded very powerful, the gun that shot Frank. If that's homemade, I mean, that's pretty impressive, but we'll see. To be honest, I don't know.
So I think the most important thing for us was to make the grappling hook as real, as natural, as physical as possible. So it works differently now. You will not be able to fly through the whole map in 1 minute, as in the first game. As I said, it's way more physical and way more realistic. So if you need something to help you imagine this, is that in the first game, with the grappling hook, you could almost feel like Spider-Man. In this game, in the second game, you feel more like a Tarzan.
Okay, that's a lot better, actually.
Swinging on ropes and everything. So, of course, you could say, I prefer to be a Spider-Man than a Tarzan. food for you, but wait till you see the thing in action. It's really immersive, and it has a lot of uses, not only in traversal, not only in parkour, but also in combat. So trust us, we know what we're doing, and you will enjoy the new grappling hook a lot.
Okay. 7 minutes in.
Oh, this one is very important and very interesting. The question is,
The answer
will
is
there
gonna be
be
yes.
cars, vehicles in the main game area? So the answer is, you will be driving inside a vehicle in one specific mission, the one we have shown to you in our last demo. We didn't want to spend more time on it because we feel all of our other traversal methods are way more interesting.
So the reason I thought he would say just yes overall is because they described a long time ago is that if you work with the scavengers or something along those lines, you're able to kind of get fuel from them if they start producing it in the one area they showed off. They'll start producing fuel, and you'll be able to use like the sort of truck things they scavenge and build. But we'll see if he says anything about the scavengers or anything.
So of course you have parkour, and with our natural movement system and the improvements we have made in the second game, you can really travel through the city with great ease, overcoming any obstacles, doing those huge jumps. So it's really very exciting. And on top of that, we also added the grappling hook, the paraglider, and some additional stuff we'll be talking about in the future. So we wanted to stick to that because this is the DNA of Dying Light. This is what makes our game unique.
Yeah, so who knows? The thing with the scavengers, that could still be a thing. But maybe they're just gonna limit it, like he said. It's not gonna be a big thing, a big part of the game. Just gonna be parkour mostly.
Okay, so this one is actually another question that appeared very frequently. So the question is, how many choices do you have that actually change the world and the story? So I don't want to give you an exact number, but I want to explain to you how the whole system works. So in Dying Light 2, you make choices, you make decisions on 3 different levels. So the first one, as you can say, the upper one, the top one, is a number of main story choices, a few of them.
I hate that my thing keeps
really
popping
change
up.
how the story flows and what kind of ending you will get when you finish the whole experience. Then the second level is choices and decisions you make inside.
Wait, I have to rewind. What did he say there?
As you can say, the upper one, the top one, is a number of main story choices, a few of them, which really change how the story flows and what kind of ending you will get when you finish the whole experience.
Okay.
Then the second level is choices and decisions you make inside side quests or even main quests that mostly have consequences that are contained within those quests, within those missions, or quite often they also influence the world. An example of this is in one of the quests you can, for example, save an opera singer. If you do that, if you make a correct choice, then she appears in one of the hubs, in one of the safe zones in the game, and starts singing. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people will tell you it was a stupid thing to do, but it's all up to you. And this is an example of one of those little details that you can actually change in your world. And the third level is the so-called city alignment system. And this is a system where, based on your choices, one of the factions takes control over specific areas of the city.
Oh my god.
So when they do that, of course, they install their forces.
Okay, I've been wondering what the city alignment system has been, because I honestly had no idea. It was mentioned in the short kind of QnA article they gave us to hold over, but apparently it actually means when the factions take over different parts, which I don't think we knew before actually. Maybe we did, I just wasn't aware of that.
They install a lot of different things that belong to that faction, and some of the things are the things that you can use in gameplay. So for example, if you play with the peacekeepers, they start installing so-called combat helpers, combat traps that you can use while fighting with bandits or infected or whatever. if you side with survivors and you give parts of the city to survivors, they start installing things like zip lines and trampolines and other stuff that makes the traversal easier. So depending on your choices, you can also shape the gameplay space, the gameplay environment, and have a different experience depending on what you do.
I think he just means survivors as in people who aren't in a faction. I don't think he's referring to scavengers.
The next one is, how diverse are regions in Dying Light 2? Will we see fields and plains, suburbs, or
That's a
any
pretty decent
additional
question,
locations?
actually.
So as you know, the game takes place inside a city, and it's a huge city, so as all of the huge cities out there in the world, it's actually quite diverse. You can say that there are two main regions in the city, which is an area which is a little bit close to Old Town, and another one which is...
Wait, what?
You can say that there are two main regions in the city, which is an area which is a little bit close to Old Town, and another one which is more like a downtown with...
Oh, he's referring to it like, as in it looks like Old Town, not that it's actually close. I was a little bit confused there for a second.
And all of that stuff. Within those regions, there are 7 zones where you can make decisions and assign those zones to different factions. So, for example, if you side with survivors, you will start seeing things like fields or bakeries or others.
So this is really interesting. He's talking a lot about survivors, which I'm pretty sure he's just talking about like non-faction, ungrouped people, just like locals in the area, kind of. And I never really considered this before. That could be a huge thing, where you just help the survivors over maybe a big faction like the Peacekeepers.
Small communities that are rebuilding themselves around various city locations. And if you side with Peacekeepers, you will start seeing more of our military stuff like out.
I don't know. Okay, it's kind of weird. I don't think he's referring to the scavengers here, but he's wording it like it maybe could be.
Posts, barricades, things like that. So depending on your choices and how you assign each of the zones, you can end up with a completely different looking type of city.
This is weird. I'm going to go back to when he says the survivor part. Hold on.
So, for example, if you side with survivors, you will start seeing things like fields or bakeries or other small communities that are rebuilding themselves around various city locations. And if you side with Peacekeepers, you will start...
See, he's making the direct correlation with survivors to Peacekeepers, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I still don't think he's talking about the scavengers when he says survivors, but I could be wrong.
Start seeing more of our military stuff like outposts, barricades, things like that. So depending on your choices...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that survivors are just local survivors, not actual scavengers. But it's just the way he's saying it, you know what I mean?
How you assign each of the zones, you can end up with a completely different looking type of city.
Okay. I mean, that was pretty decent. I think the main question that was really good was the thing about guns, to be honest. They kind of cleared it up.
Because the day is for humans, but the night is for the infected.
Okay, here it is again.
Okay, but what about the guns?
Yes, guns. Another question that came up very often. So this is something we have also been telling you guys already. So there are no firearms in the world of Dying Light 2. Why? Because it's a world where the civilization is destroyed, is gone. So actually no one is able to create like professional firearms. There will be ranged weapons, bows, and something extra, which fit more.
Wait, what? What does it mean, something extra? He said that for ranged weapons, there will be bows and something extra, which fit more the modern type ages.
The modern type ages idea, the modern type ages concept.
Wait,
there
what?
will be
What could it
ranged
be?
weapons, bows, and something extra, which fit more the modern type ages idea.
This is my first time watching this, but yeah, I'm just
Modern
going
Ages
back
concept.
to the gun part right now.
Having said that, there's actually one option you can choose to use something similar to a firearm, and this is a handmade shotgun. Very nice tool.
All right. Yeah, I was thinking maybe spears as well, or maybe like a sort of like catapult type thing. Not an actual catapult, but no, I don't think he means things like the
More
Scorpio.
the modern Dark Ages idea, the modern Dark Ages concept.
Yeah, maybe.
Having said that, there's actually one option you can choose to use something similar to a firearm, and this is a handmade shotgun. A very nice tool with your left hand, so you can have a shotgun in your left hand and a machete or a sword or a hammer in your second one. And it reads very easily. So it's up to you when you decide to use that powerful piece of weapon.
I still wonder if we're gonna see like I said before, Frank still got shot by what I would guess was a pretty modern gun from a pretty far range. And I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a makeshift weapon, but I'm just not seeing it at this point. So I'm still just wondering if maybe they're gonna use actual guns as a narrative thing, like with Frank getting shot. Maybe there's another one in the game. I don't know.
Used to indict
Wait, I just noticed it's literally a different background.
complete
That's kind of weird.
to assign each of the zones. You can enter
I mean, that's pretty much it. I'd say it was pretty decent. Here's our first episode of the new Ask Me Anything series. This is only the beginning. That's a good sign. April 20th, yeah. Well, I mean it doesn't just stand for that, if you know what I mean, but yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. This was pretty good overall. Trying to remember if there's anything else I want to talk about real quick. How big is the map? Yeah,
able to fly.
that's pretty much it. Yeah, the choices thing was actually another good thing. We actually got some like clarity on the city. They call it the city alignment system. So it sounds like what I'm thinking at least is you're gonna be able to look at an actual like maybe map or something that'll show all 7 regions and who at that certain point in time is actually controlling the region. And you know what I mean, like scavengers, peacekeepers, whoever it will be. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Which it sounds like could possibly be a thing. When is the release? No release date yet, unfortunately. That's pretty much going to be it. Pretty good video overall. Whenever the second one comes out, I'm going to watch that one on stream again, probably. The only other thing I would say is subscribe to my second channel if you want. I do streams over there as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What about the trampolines? Yeah, trampolines. I was kind of confused when he said that. What would trampolines really be used for? But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Just a short video going over this Q&A, I guess. And then whenever episode comes out, I'll do a live stream as well. But yeah. See you guys in the next live stream or video or whatever, and yeah, see ya.